This is an introductory video to the survey harmonisation for energy that I've been talking about with the AGRICEN team. We decided that having got to the point where the worksheet is viable, that the easiest way to introduce it to you all will be through this video. So to remind you, there are three reasons why we wanted to do this worksheet. One is a collection of all the possible questions so that researchers can be prompted to think, oh, hang on, I need some questions on LPG. How would I frame that? And to give a number of different shapes and forms of questions so that you can choose which ones you want to use and be prompted to remember them. Within that, we have also found that some energy researchers who are very focused on the energy have forgotten to do descriptors. So we've had the crazy example of one situation where they didn't ask how many people were in the household, and therefore you had all this energy information, but you couldn't turn it into per person energy because they'd forgotten such a basic thing. You will see in a moment that we go for the multi-poverty index is our suggested way of doing things, because income and expenditure is often unreliable, and the MPI will give you some insight into where people are in their wealth ranking. But that's a debatable point, and we can debate that further in a moment in another video or something. But the point is, point number one is it's reminding you, it's giving you ideas on how to question. The second thing is that we want to work towards a mega database. So all of those questions have a short code, and if that short code is kept with that question and the way it's framed, so for instance, going back to LPG, sometimes people talk in terms of number of cylinders, sometimes people talk in terms of kilograms. You need consistency of the question to be able to compare across countries. So by having the short code, we can gradually, over the next 10 years, build a mega database of all these surveys, and somebody can sit there and analyze cross-country stuff and everything. So the short code is important to make sure that it relates to a particular question that is phrased in a particular way. And the third thing that the spreadsheet is designed to do is to help you get the survey up on a tablet or a smartphone. So it's purposely constructed so that it's very easy to collect all the questions that you want, stick them in another worksheet, press a button on a macro, and that will convert it into the right format to go into a survey collection software. Now we're going to use Kobo, but it is based on ODK. You can look it up. And ODK, there are a number of ODK open source survey collection things. We will show you how to use Kobo. If you want to use one of the others, that should still be fine, and the Excel sheet should help you get there. So I'm now going to check my prompt list. I've explained short codes. I've explained missing descriptors, and yes, questions are asked in different ways. So that's my introduction. Thank you. Go.
Okay, so there are a large number of worksheets in the spreadsheet in which we have pulled together different questions relating to different aspects that we are potentially interested in. At the beginning, there's a worksheet called Key, and in there we've summarized all the different worksheets. So you can see the blue code is all those locators and descriptors, green is just access to electricity, and so on. So that gives you a little bit of a key to all the dozens and dozens of worksheets that are in the spreadsheet. So what we want to do is to create a master spreadsheet, and then the user will copy and paste the specific questions that they want to include in their questionnaire. So first of all, I'll insert a new worksheet, and I'm going to call it master. And then let's say I want to start with some of the descriptors. I'm going to pull out the name, the age, so copy, put it into the master there. Just for my benefit, I'm going to also pull across the different column headings. So you can see I've got the short code, I've got, hang on a second, yeah, there we go. We've got the text of the question, I've got the type and the, hang on a second, yeah, the options for multiple response questions. Then let's have marital status, because that shows you an example of a question that has all the different responses that you can have. Now let's go to the electricity page, for example. We'll pick up a couple from here. So going up to the top, we can say these are community type questions. I want to find something more interesting about my household connection. Right, am I billed? Down to do I have a meter? And what's the source of electricity? Is my electricity shared? Let's just take those as some examples. So again, I'm going to go back to the master sheet and I'll paste them in there. Okay, that'll do just for now. So you can get the concept of copying and pasting into the master. Said that the questions have been taken from a number of different sources, a number of different types of questionnaires, which means that you have questions very similar but asking slightly different types of information. So for example, if I look at the descriptors and it's asking about age, so here's one way of asking the ages of different household members. So you can ask, does the person fit into a certain age category, 5 years or older, 12, 15, 18 years or older? Here's another set of categories. Is the age under 18, 18, 24, 24, 25? Or you can simply ask, how old is the individual? So those are examples of three different ways of capturing the same information. And we've included all of the different options so that the user can choose whatever they feel is most appropriate. But you'll notice that each of these different questions, which is gathering similar data, has a different shortcode. So that it doesn't matter which question format is chosen, the data that gathered will only have a unique shortcode. The point about questions that are gathering the same information is they may look the same, but actually they're subtly different. So for example, here on area description, this first question is asking what's the distance to your nearest medical facility? Another way of asking very similar information is what's the distance to the nearest clinic? But clinics and medical facilities may be subtly different. So again, we've put both the questions in here and it's up to the user to choose what they want, but as long as they're aware of what the subtle differences are. You'll have spotted that each of these worksheets, the questions are arranged in a similar format. So the format is, there's this short code, first column, and that's unique to each question. Questions has the text of the question. Options are for multiple or single choice questions. So those are basically the options that you're given. Those are possible responses. The type is it's a drop-down list, which is a type of question, and that tells ODK whether it's a multiple choice, text question, a note, an integer question. It tells once you've pasted in everything you want, you need to stick end, END, put end in at the bottom so that the macros know when to stop looking for information. Okay, the first thing I need to do is run a small macro that adds option names. So here are options, but ODK doesn't like that. So I'm going to run a macro called create choice names. I run that and you'll see that in column F it's just put in very similar names, but it's just stripped out the zeros. That's the format that ODK can use to create these option names. Right, now let's try and run the macro that actually creates a worksheet or two worksheets that are in the format that are required by the ODK software. So macros, I'm going to create Kobo, click run, and you'll notice here there are two additional worksheets that is added, the survey worksheet and the choices worksheet. So the survey has picked up the question types, it's copied across the shortcodes, it's copied across the text of the question, and in choices you have all those options. This is just the way, those are the option names and that's the text of the option. This is the way ODK works. Right, the next stage is we need to export these two worksheets that have been created and create a separate file that can then be uploaded onto the Kobo site. So I've selected those two worksheets and I'm going to move those into a new book. Okay, so now I've got a completely new book with just those two sheets. So I'm now going to save that as AGRICEN demo. Okay. Right, that's now ready to upload to the Kobo tool, to the Kobo website. So let's look at that. Okay, so your AGRICEN user, our partner, first thing they want to do is set up an account on Kobo. So here we are at kobotoolbox.org. This is the home page and we want to click on Get Started and then we're going to sign up. And here, create an account down here for new users. So my name is Nigel. My username is AGRICEN. Right, comes through pretty quickly, and I'm going to activate that. Or previously registered with Kobo Toolbox, so it's now brought me up to the Gamos sort of homepage where we've been running a number of projects. I'm going to start a new project here, and my project is going to be the AGRICEN demo. Create the project, and it's ready to start adding questions. All right, I'm going to save that. I'm just going to leave it empty. I've got to the AGRICEN demo, which at this moment is empty, but these little icons here, there's one up here which is replace with XLS. So that is the spreadsheet that we created a second ago, and I created it in documents. AGRICEN demo. There it is. So I open. Right, it's uploading the file, and you should get a little flag up here saying replace operation completed. So now I can preview this questionnaire that we've just created. So there you go. Questionnaire is already on the system. So that's going to check that single response. single response, and so on. Right, ready to go. Okay, so once you're happy with your questionnaire, we now need to deploy it. So it's ready to be downloaded to any tablets and phones that are being used for data collection. So that all seems to be okay. Deployed form. Right. Kobo app can then be downloaded onto any phone or tablet through the Google Play Store as normal. So I've got Kobo Collect here on my phone. So in order to access the questionnaire we just created, I need to get a blank form. It's connecting to the server, and now at the top my list, there's the AGRICEN demo. So I'm going to pick up that blank form and load it up onto this phone. Now I want to fill out a blank form. I've got a number of blank forms on here, but there's the AGRICEN demo. Click on the AGRICEN demo and we're off. Right, so I'm now collecting data. Swipe to the next. Yep, and so on. When you get to the end, you will get a question. Are you satisfied? And I can now save this form and exit. Right, back to where we started. So we just completed one form, so I can now look at that form and I can see there it is, and I can go and edit the data if I wish. But I will save form and exit again. Okay, now when I'm happy with it, I'm going to send a finalized form. So there it is. Send selected. Success. Right, that's gone. Now I should be able to find that then. We go to the web interface. Yeah, I've just pressed refresh and there it is. I've got one submission and I've now got a data tag appeared here, so I can go in and I can interrogate the data that's been uploaded. Easy as that.